Okay, so now we're going to talk about plumbing a little bit. Pretty straightforward. I will attempt to show you where the water comes from a little bit later. But for now, let me just say that when I first got here, uh, the the pump was an above ground pump, but the above ground pump was uh, mounted 10 feet below uh, the ground level in a culvert. The reasoning for that was, I believe, originally um, the uh, the intent was to have the uh, pump be below the frost line because the frost line up here is about 10 feet down. So the way that the builder, the gentleman that built the cabin, did it was he got a big 4 foot wide culvert pipe and he went down 10 feet. When he got down 10 feet, then he took another piece of culvert pipe and 4 foot, and he went back over 10 feet to where the well was drilled. And so then he mounted the above ground there at the end of that. So you basically have a ladder and a tube going down 10 feet right underneath the trap door that's right by the little pantry area and the mudroom area. If you lift one of the carpets or move them, you'll see the little trap door. You lift that, and then you go down this wood ladder. When you get to the bottom, you'll see the pressurization tank that pressurizes the water lines. You'll also, if you go further and you bend down and climb through that tunnel, you'll go 10 feet back underground 10 feet, and you'll see what is now a submersible pump. So what I did was I hired a plumber to come in, and we pulled all of the old hardware out of there, and we put a nice submersible that's good for probably at least 25 years. Drop that down there. We put in a brand new pressurization tank and hooked that into the existing well. The lines that come up from there, the water comes straight out of the well and goes two directions. Number one, it comes back here to the water softening system. And number two, it goes directly to the spigot, the small spigot on the main kitchen sink to the right. So there's a main spigot that's got the retractable head in it. And then to the right of it, there's a smaller one. That smaller one is pulling water directly out of the well. That is the best water you will ever get. I've had a lot of wells up in Washington and Oregon and even here in Alaska. I have never had water that has been cleaner and tasted better. It sits right on an aquifer. So I would say that is one of the most positive things about this cabin is the recovery rate, the clean water that's coming out of there. So again, as I said, the power to the well comes from this distribution box here. But never had a problem with it. But what you'll see is you'll see this red line coming here. This is the PEX line that comes from there. Now, what happens with the PEX line when it comes in is it comes right into the main cutoff. So this main cutoff right here will cut off the water to the house. Now you'll notice it goes another direction. It comes up here, it goes over here. The reason is because that line goes to a hose bib right out here. Okay, you can see the hose bib is into a T. Now the reason why I do that is this is water straight out of the well. It's not softened. And I have it going two directions. One direction is over to the other side where you can see it coiled up. I have a sprayer on that. And then that's what I use to water the flowers, any other cleaning work, driveways, things like that. The second one I leave right here, and I leave it coiled up. There's something that you can do, which I have done when we're working in the greenhouse for the summer. You can take this line. It's a super nice hose. You can just run it out here, and you'll see that there's this other mysterious line here. So this, if you hook that hose into this one, you're going to push water all the way up around this corner. Wow, got a weed out here. All the way around this corner to the backside. And you'll see right down here, I guess I can get a little closer here. This line right here. Okay, this line goes into the greenhouse. To a little hose bib right there. Now, why that's important is because if you want, you can connect that hose from the T there, and you can get water right here. So you have good fresh well water for all your plants in the greenhouse. And we'll talk about the greenhouse later. But that's where that line goes. So 3 places you can send water. You can send water to the greenhouse if you connect it to this line. The reason, if I'm not working in the greenhouse, I keep it disconnected is because I use it to sometimes put water in the pool, or excuse me, the spa. If I'm filling the spa originally, so the start of the season, I'll usually pull it from a different source, and I'll tell you why. Coming back in here. So outside goes to the outside, to the hose bib there, which goes 2 directions. And then you can connect it to go all the way around to the greenhouse. So you can cover the entire cabin property. The other direction it goes is it comes through and it goes to the inside of the water softener. And then I'll come back on the water softener in just a second. And then it goes to the outside of the water softener to this line right here. And from the outside of the water softener, so this is softened water right here, it will go 2 directions. The first direction it'll go is into the cold, soft water feed into the water heater. The other place it'll go is the cold water feed into all of the rest of the house. So cold water side for the whole house. All right. Now, this little spigot seems like an odd place to put a spigot right here. This is the cold, soft water outlet that's used for hot tub fill. So what I do is I take this spigot and I will connect my black hose. I'll just bring that line in here. This guy right here. I'll bring it in. I'll connect it up to that spigot. I'll run the other end into the spa. And the reason I do that is because the spa is the water that comes from the well is naturally, it's got minerals in it, and its pH is high. It's got a lot of stuff in it. So to get the spa water chemically where it needs to be, it needs the alkalinity, the pH, the chlorination, all of it needs to be all in a place so that when you go in and sit in it, you don't get the cooties basically. So when I talk about the spa specifically, I'll go over that. But This is where I get my magic water when I fill it up, is here. I don't use well water. Now, once it's full, and I'm going to tell you, it takes 300 gallons, and the 300 gallons, just measured, we can do about what I think it was 8 gallons a minute. So it doesn't take all that long to get the 300 gallons in the spa. You'll be done under an hour for sure. You want to keep a close eye on that, but we'll talk about that when we talk about the spa. But that's my spa water. So cold water comes in, hot water comes out, and it also feeds into the main house. So this is the line that the main hot water feeds. So you have your cold water feed that goes in, and then your hot water feed that goes into the house. This hot water feed, you'll see it pop up inside underneath the stairs off the kitchen, where there's that little swing door that the brooms and mops and cleaners and stuff are stored. There's another hot water cut off valve in there as well. So it's another place that you can cut off. But honestly, I've never really had to use any of them. The main cutoff I use if I want to cut water is right here. Okay, so into the water softeners.